Hi everyone, welcome to my page. If you're 50, 40 or over, come on in and let's do some makeup. I'm going to use my Saint Cream makeup today where we use one palette and one brush to create one layer of makeup. Now what I'm going to show you today is we're going to use black cherry. I know it looks black, but it's not. We're going to use black cherry, as my lip and cheek shade, but I have a surprise for you too, and it's coming out to where you can purchase this tomorrow if you would like. So let's get started. I'm just going to put my brush in my lap, and then we're going to start. How do we start? I like to start with the contour. It's a dark, cool shade, and it goes on the hard parts of your face. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. If you've never used contour before, you're like, that's way too dark for you. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Thank everyone. I thank you for coming in. Come on in. Join. Okay, so then we're going to feel for that cheekbone, and we're going to start right about the corner of the eye and go up towards the ear. What we're doing is we are lifting and defining the face. We're giving it some depth and definition because, again, as we get older, I'm 69, so as we get older, our skin sort of sags. Let's just be honest, but that's okay because we are going to give the illusion of a lifted look. It's so wonderful, and it's really easy once you get the hang of it. So here we go from the right about the corner of the eye up. Now, do they have to be exactly even? No, because mine never are. Now I'm going to contour my nose just to make it look a little bit more elongated and just a little bit more narrow. So I put some contour on my pinky, rubbed them together. I'm going to put them together and come right down the center of my nose. What that's going to do is put the contour in the natural shadows of my nose. And then you're going to see once we get to the concealer. Now, let's go to the concealer, which is my next shade. What does concealer conceal? Absolutely nothing. It brightens. Concealer brightens your face. It doesn't conceal anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to brighten the center of my face. So we're going between the eyebrows. Then we're going to come right down the center of the nose between those two contour lines. And look how much narrower my nose looks already. I mean, again, it's amazing how you can sculpt your face by using the right shade in the right area. Okay, we're going to catch just the Cupid's bow and the center of the chin. So we have the long, the vertical bar of the T. Now we're going to come across and we're going to catch the horizontal one. So we're going to come and just hit the outer corner of the eye and the inner corner. Now, I know you've seen many of the younger girls who go all the way underneath. We can't do that because we have crepe skin under there. So it is what it is. What can I say? I also like to put a little dot up there because that will just brighten the eye whether you have eyeshadow on or not. So it's just going to make your eye look a little bit larger. So again, the inner corner and the outer corner. Now, once we blend, a little bit will go underneath onto that crepe skin, but not enough to make a difference. Now we're going to come to my main shade, and the main shade is the shade that is the closest to the natural color of your skin. And what we're going to do with that is use it as a filler shade. So I have my my concealer or brightener, then my main shade, then my contour. Okay, then we're just going to put this main shade where we don't have any other makeup. And that is what it's going to do, is fill in those areas where there isn't any other makeup. Now, what this is doing is taking 3 shades, marrying the edges together, and just a little bit of a crossover of a blend, and that's it. We're at that point. I forgot to do my concealer up here, or brightener. There we go. And what that is going to do is just marry the edges together so that we have a nice, full, seamless, flawless blend. But we're not going to go willy-nilly like we were taught to do years ago. And that's fine to go willy-nilly if you're using one shade. But when you're using three, you took the time to strategically place it. So let's take the time to strategically blend. Okay, now we're going to come to our lip and cheek. Yes, lip and cheek. Today it is Black Cherry, and it goes right above, in between your concealer or your brightener and your contour. So simple, so easy. There we go. Now, see how pretty that is? A lot of you have asked, I just need a brush to do my lips, and I just don't like using my finger. Saint, listen, here we go. Black Cherry lipstick. Look how pretty and creamy this is. Oh my goodness. There we go. She'll be available for purchase tomorrow. She's in the holiday collection. Look how pretty. The Black Cherry we love, but in a lipstick. Just think, now we can just throw it in our purse and go. The shade that we all love, and then sometime later today, I'll come back on, and there's another one they did this to that I think you'll be pleased with. Okay, there we go. Now we have it all placed. Our makeup is placed. Now we need to blend. So what I'm going to do is, you need to set your cream makeup, so you can use setting spray or you can use setting powder. I like to use setting spray while I'm blending and then come back with a very light setting powder just to keep it in place and to get rid of a little bit of the shine. It's a little bit too much of a shine for me. I like a little more. I like the glow, but I like a little more of a matte finish. So that's just me. So what I'm going to do is grab my setting spray from Saint, and I am going to find, there we go, give 2 squirts or 1 squirt on either side of my brush. Give it a tap on my hand just to make sure it's not super, super wet. And now we're going to blend. I like to start at the jawline because then you can just press it in and drag it down that neck. There we go. You always want to drag it down your neck pretty far. There. And see what we're doing. This is a little technique called stippling. And what we're doing is we are pressing this cream makeup into our skin to where it actually becomes a part of your skin. It doesn't sit on your face to get cakey like a lot of liquids and powders can do. It actually moves with your face, and that's the beauty of cream. Okay, so here we go, up the nose, just tapping and pressing around the eye. You don't want to swipe or pull that tender skin. Matter of fact, I like to flip my brush around to the domed end and just give it that tapping motion. And that gives you such a nice soft blend. And it doesn't get into the crepe skin. See the crepe skin? It doesn't get into the crepe skin that is under your eye. There we go. But it gives enough of a coverage to where it just evens out any discoloration you may have right there. Good stuff. Cream makeup is where it's at. Now, we're just going to tap up and just continue to tap. And again, we're just pressing this into our skin. Now, I am going to do a little bit of a swirl right here just to make sure that I have, again, the 2 ends meeting together and just mesh together just a little bit. And then let's jump up and catch this contour. What you want to do with contour is, I like to circle blend it around, but you don't want to come down too far into your main shade Because what we're doing, I have a very high forehead. We're creating a shadow to where it gives the illusion that my forehead is not quite as high up as it actually is. Now go all the way into the hairline. You want to go all the way because you don't want that white scalp line showing when you turn to the side. Now, does it get into my gray hair? Yes, it does. Sometimes. Is it easy to come out? Yes, it is. Just a baby wipe, a beauty wipe, or even a damp washcloth does the trick. Now, I don't go as heavy on this side because I wear bangs and no one sees it anyway. Now, what we have left to do are these cheeks. I like to soften it, just going up and down a little bit, maybe twice. Then catch that contour in with my blush and move it up into the temple. There we go. Now right here, if you want to, you can come back with your illuminator and make such a pretty, it catches the light. So it makes a really pretty showing right there. Same thing over here, up and down, maybe twice, and then grab that blue, black cherry blush and lip, and then just move it right up into the temple. Look how pretty. Black cherry is probably the best seller that we have. It is a gloss, and again, now it is in a lipstick tube. So good. Great stuff. And there's a little magnet on the case to be sure it is securely closed. And that's pretty much it. Come here and just catch the concealer I put right on the top underneath on the brow bone. And there you go. All of my makeup, it was in one palette. And this is it. This is my makeup bag. Now we have different size palettes, and if you want to use eyeshadow, or if you want to use a bronzer, or like I said, an illuminator, we have, this is called the palette 12, and I'm sorry, it's really dirty. I shouldn't have shown this one, but we have the palette 12, and on this side I have an illuminator, I have an extra concealer, and I have a bronzer, and then over here, lip and cheek. That's on the first level. On the second level, I have powder, and I have a couple of eyeshadows and a brush cleaning tile. So what you can carry with you with your makeup bag, which again, it can either be just these four, which is really all you need, unless you're really looking to go into a glam, then you would want a larger palette. And there are some larger than this. And what I was telling you about the illuminator, watch this. If you want to go right above your blush, look how pretty that is with this cream illuminator. Just right along. And it just catches the light. Could you imagine being at a romantic dinner with your honey? And there it is. You could even put a little bit on the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, right above the Cupid's bow. And above the Cupid's bow, see how that gave me more of a defined upper lip? Good stuff. Good stuff. What can I say? So the hardest part, or the biggest question I usually get, is how do I get started with this? It's real simple. You need a color match, and that's what you have me for. I need a makeup-free selfie in natural light facing a window. Really, if you just comment match, I'll reach out to you and we'll get a conversation going to show you exactly what I need to get you color matched. Now, the color match is 100% free and absolutely no obligation to purchase. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee from Saint. I guess my question is, what do you have to lose? I appreciate you joining me here today. Again, if you're interested in Saint makeup, just drop match in the comments and I'll pick it up and basically get back with you and we will go from there. You be the reason someone smiles today, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.